Because some people won't like it, they won't understand it, they won't agree with it, right? But we know if we can push through that fear, not only can we be successful on the other side, we can actually have the kind of impact we ultimately want to have. Because people pick up on not what we say, or even what we do. They pick up on who we are. So you can walk through a hotel like this, radiating and resonating at some real, genuine level, appreciation for yourself and life, and people can feel it. You walk into a meeting. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having it all together, but it's about coming from that place. And the person says, I don't know what it is, I just want to be around you. And the more we practice it, the easier it gets. Appreciating ourselves. It's not simply just for us. It's for everybody we come into contact with. And by the way, one of the most selfish things we can do in life is be miserable. Because what happens when we're miserable? Now, we're miserable, but everyone worries about us, right? You okay? Is everything okay? How's it going? How's your business? Oh, I'm so worried about you, right? And on top of it, the ability we have to impact other people, to support other people, to love other people, to share with other people, both our work and our life, is diminished because all of our energy is on being miserable. And I'm not saying we fake it and we avoid the stuff, and if we've got serious stuff going on in life, we got to deal with that stuff. But looking at ultimately the goal. You know, you talk about vision boards, and I love people asking, what's on your vision board? You know, my wife and I just redid our vision board. And I redid one for my business. And what I noticed, I'm really proud of a shift that we both are starting to make and really kind of starting to embody, is there was less stuff on there about stuff, and more stuff on there about feeling. How do we want to feel? What's the experience of life that we want to have? As opposed to all the things that we want to accomplish and accumulate. Nothing wrong with accomplishing and accumulating. But every accomplishment, you and I have every goal we have, everything we want to succeed and benchmark we want to hit. There's some feeling, there's some experience underneath that. If we can really get in touch with that, we can start embodying that right now. You know, the author Byron Katie has a great quote. You often hear the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, but she says the definition of insanity is thinking that you need things that you don't currently have. Because, she said, the mere fact that you exist right now without those things is evidence that you don't need them. And the distinction between what we need and what we want is important. You and I, right in this moment, have everything we need. Everything. And if we could really get that, like really get that, not just the idea of it, not just the concept or the bumper sticker of it, but really get that and live from that place, what we could create is unbelievable. Literally, like we couldn't even believe it. So, what does all this mean? You spend a couple days at a conference, you get together, you get excited, we get ideas, we deal with our gremlin, we get whatever, we go out and have a few drinks, whatever, all this stuff, and we're about to rush off to the airport. So I'm going to put my coaching hat on for just a moment, and I'm going to say something that I know you know, but it's important to be reminded of. And that's why the final chapter of both my books, and every presentation I ever give, is all about action. Because one of my favorite sayings is, it's not what we know, it's what we do. It's what we practice. And ultimately what we embody. But if you take your hand out and flip it over, there's a simple list of actions on the back of that handout. Practices. What? Hand up. Put your hand up, put it up. Yeah. I didn't mean it like that, but thank you for following directions. Wow. Yeah, put your hand out and turn it over. Take the hand out and turn it over. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Visual learners, I see. I got it. Okay. But there's a bunch of little simple things on here, and some of these little bullet points speak to a number of the practices that I love to talk about and teach in my workshops and my books is stuff that we can actually do. And most of them, at least on the surface, are pretty straightforward. But a couple I want to just talk about briefly because they, at first blush, like the fifth one down says, create a dream team to support you with your biggest goals and dreams. And some of you already do this, either directly or indirectly. And this group, RESA itself, is a dream team, so to speak, if you use it that way. Speak them out loud. As you guys were doing earlier, what's on your vision board? What do you want? And again, go deeper into what is it you really want? What's the experience you want? But the more you let people know that, the more they're likely to show up with specific opportunities and ways to support you, and even just positive words and encouragement. But so often we're waiting to have it all figured out and worked out before we tell people what it is we want. Use the community that you already have. Another thing that's really important, third one from the bottom, speak about yourself, your work, your life, and others in a positive and empowering way. Now, our words have incredible power. So just notice, again, not like a judgment, just notice the words that come out of your mouth when someone asks you, how are you? How's business? How's this person? What do you think about that? Again, look, I'm all about being authentic, but at the same time, how can we be authentic and very conscious of the stuff that we say? Because our words start to create our world, literally. And I say to people all the time, one thing you can always say when someone asks you, how's business? You can say, unbelievable, right? And you'll always be authentic about that, right? You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. And it feels a lot better than a lot of other things we could say, right? And the last one is this, at the very one at the bottom. This is a simple one, but focus on what you're grateful for and talk about it. Talk about it. And find ways that, some of you talk about watching The Secret. There's a guy in The Secret that talks about the gratitude rock. Right? Put a little rock in your pocket or in your purse. When you touch it, look at it. Think of what you're grateful for. It's a great little practice. One of the things that I do is on my voicemail. You call my cell phone, here's what it says. Hey, this is Mike, thanks for calling. Leave a message in your message, let me know something you're grateful for. Right? Steal that idea, feel free. I stole it from someone a long time ago that I heard shared, and I thought, what a great idea. But I get the coolest voicemails. It's on the office, it's on our home line. I get people call my office to sell me stuff. And they'll be like, hi, oh boy, I wasn't ready for that question. Let me see. And they're like, bro, I really love my kids. And you know what's so great about it is then I pick up the messages, or my